All right, so of course, Bright, I mean, this is the question that people have been asking. The fact that we're told that the total expenditure of the Special Prosecutor's Office is 30.5 million since 2018 to date. That's how much they've spent, I mean, under the regime of Martin Amidu, the former Special Prosecutor. But of course, the bigger question is, I mean, all these cases that he was working on, he took only 2 to court. The 2 have been dropped. So success rates, 0. From 2018 to 2021, 0 cases have been prosecuted or won for the state. What do you call this? Causing financial loss to the state?
You're certainly right in, making it, but it's overly simplistic to just say you are causing financial loss to the state. But there's some worry there. You cannot put a price on justice. And often the resources we invest to bring a case to its end sometimes can be quite massive. So you can't say simply because it's costed this much, we are putting financial loss to the state. However, it makes sense that when you are prosecuting a case, you look at how much the case is going to cost you, especially if you're trying to recover money, vis-a-vis how much you're going to recover at the end of the case. And the fact that Ghanaians have spent some money on the OSP's office, like you recounted, they expect some results to be coming from that. So based on that, I mean, of course, a lot of people are not happy that maybe we are spending money and we are not seeing a result coming from that particular office. But instead of saying the fact that we've not been able to prosecute the case means that financial loss to the office, I don't think that's a fair assessment that we can make at this point, because like I said, you cannot put a price tag when we are trying to seek justice. But it is a case that we all want to see the office churn out some results pretty soon, because I mean, even that amount you've mentioned is quite small. We are going to invest a lot of money into this office. If you heard what Mr. Jabin was saying, that the office is not properly set up. So for the next couple of years, we are going to be investing a lot of money into the office, and people want to see some result. And that result, we are most interested in is to see prosecution of cases where we've actually won those sort of prosecutions. I was in Sierra Leone earlier in the year speaking to the Anti-Corruption Commissioner, Mr. Kefala, and I was very impressed when they showed me the records to see that they've had taken 50 cases to court from 2018 to 2021 and won 46 of them, recovering millions of dollars for the state of Sierra Leone. That's the same thing you want to see in Ghana, that we are actually taking cases to court, we are winning them, we are putting people in prisons who deserve to be there, also recovering sums for the country. But prosecution costs money. And, at this stage, I don't think it's wise to wade into a discussion of how much it costs for what to seem like field cases at this extent. It's not something we should be looking at. We should, however, be encouraging the OSP that to be able to manage the information. If the cases are not ready for court, it as well help the public learning of them at that, because once they learn of them, there's expectation that something is going to happen with those cases. And often, like I said, if it does not happen, it affects the credibility of the office.
And of course, and I'm happy you talk about the credibility and you draw inferences from other countries who have prosecuted and saved a lot of money for the state. I mean, this is taxpayers' money. I mean, how do you feel? I mean, frankly and sincerely, personally, how do you feel that 30.5 million was spent at the Special Prosecutor's Office for the period between 2018 and 2021? No case has been prosecuted. 0.
Yeah, I think every Ghanaian will feel quite alarmed about it. Every taxpayer will feel quite alarmed about it. It would have helped a lot more if you knew exactly what those expenditure lines were, what amount of money, what they were actually spent on. But nevertheless, as long as you're putting money into an office, a taxpayer's office, expect some results. This office has got only one job. One main job, which is prosecution of corruption. The other anti-corruption institutions that do other aspects of it. And so we are not looking at them doing education sensitization on corruption. We're looking at them doing only prosecution. So to even spend a single cedi or a single dollar, we expect that we should be seeing some results coming from there. Definitely. But at this stage, we can only hope that maybe they're actually also working on some cases, and at some point in time, we can see some results coming from there. But everybody has to be worried that we spend some money, no matter how small, no matter how big it is, and we are yet to see the results of the office. You have to look at when we set up this office, it's been 2 or 3 years going on, and we've still not seen any results. That has to be worrying.
Is this something that you look forward to seeing in the new Special Prosecutor? Because you say, prosecuting people is expensive. So what, in 4 years, if he comes to tell us that he spent 30.5 million and no case has been prosecuted, is it normal for you?
Well, it should not be bad. Again, like I said, I don't know what those expenditure items were. It's a new office. Assuming the chunk of this money was spent just on the building and the setup and logistics and the likes. You need those. Those are basic to be able to even get the office set up in the first place. But if the operational items, money is actually spent on the cases, and you're having nothing come out of those, then that could be a lot more work, simply because before you begin to invest any amount of money, you have to look at the case and say, is something going to come out of this? So if that's just operational funding, then that's worrying. But if it's total funding, and I suspect a chunk of it might be on logistics to set up the office, then of course we can cut some slack at this stage. But we must say that we do expect results coming from the office, because we've gone quite a number of years since we set up this particular office.
Right, so I'm grateful for your time this afternoon. He's with the Anti-Corruption Coalition, GACC, and of course, we're taking a break on the pulse. When we return from this break, we're told that one more body retrieved from River Ofin after 6 hours of tiring search by NADMO officials. We'll take you there live and give you details. Do stay tuned in.